allow the children to attend the budget.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind. Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Aha. Now you not done here, all these bad politicians, then we call themselves politicians. Where they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting supposed get for this country. Una never hear something. Now go hear one, my ego. You go show na paper. My ego diary political. So my people make you shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Ha, this one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh,
yo, yo. Good morning. Good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. Welcome to Brunch Time with Mayegun. Read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, tell them to join us. Continuing our series that is the brunch time, which is also an open mic. If you stumble on this, if you are a regular here and you stumble on this, when it is live, you can phone in to contribute. First thing first, please share the broadcast. Tell everybody that cares to know, and that should know, that Mayegu today. Koolu is currently in St Lucia, and he is holidaying there. According to his handlers, Tifnumbu is visiting the descendants of his ancestors who were slaves back in the days, because he's there to promote the, I don't know. But we do have an idea why Koolu is in St Lucia. It has no economic value to Nigeria, except maybe if except if Nigeria is adding to their own economy. And the only Nigerians that can add to the St. Lucia's economy are those Nigerians who are benefiting from the corrupt system, those who have the stolen money. And therefore, Koolu's visit is being scrutinized. He was given a royal welcome, by the way. So on this program this morning and afternoon, there are other stories too. Like, the people of Zamfara that would have to run away from the approaching Fulani terrorists when there is no security inside, or should I say Nigerian security guys inside. So if you get to see this, please share it. Now we can start with this. Koolu's arrival there. Then we can get into other things. And yes, we like. Oh, Baba,
Cash flow.
Royal salute! Present! Arms! of St Lucia, the highlands of the West. I am Elvis Thomas, your parade commander. The parade is formed up with 2 platoons comprising the Royal St Lucia Police Band and 1 platoon from the Royal St Lucia Police Band in open order, ready and awaiting your inspection, sir. And I will invite you to inspect the parade.
All said the rest. So that's a Koolu in St Lucia, it's called. And you know why people are raising a bit of concern, and rightly so. St Lucia is one of the Caribbean islands, right? Its population is about 180,000 people. Okay, so the country or the island is, relatively small and close to this South America or North America it is. But here is something: knowing the history of Tifnumbu as a drug dealer heroin trafficker that forfeited $460,000 to the US government, a proceed of heroin trafficking. And also knowing Tifnumbu's friends. So when you look at, right, when you look at his moves, for those who have been paying attention like us, going to countries means you want to have, what is it called? Bilateral trade or whatever with them. This is a country that is not up to Nasarawa local government, right? No, I'm looking for a smaller local government with smaller number of people. You know, maybe Lembe, Abenembe local government in Bayelsa or something. So that's the country Tifnubu traveled to go and discuss trade. All right, the entire Caribbean countries, or the entire Caribbean that people go to for tourism, their entire GDP is summed at $160 billion. All of them, the 16 or so of them. Nigeria economy that was handed over to Bokwari APC, this APC, Ebekebe, was nearly $572 billion in 2015. Today, as bad as they've made it to, they've made Nigeria, yeah? Nigeria GDP is currently around between 180 and 190 billion, courtesy of APC. So when you look at this, there is no, there's no correlation. What exactly is this place going to do to Nigeria? Number one, right, it chose to go on holiday there. But they want to make it look like, oh, he's going there by the by the invitation of the government of that place. So where is, what makes St Lucia suspicious, just like Tifnumbu, who was, a drug dealer. Do you get that now? So St Lucia is one of, conversely, it's one of the top, the cocaine, heroin trafficking hub. It simply means they just help move the drugs through their territory. We're on small boats, and then they move them close to American borders. And St. Lucia, as small as they are, is actually like a gang control country. They are doing so well, though, to sell tourism, to sell this. Their real story, by the way, indeed, which is what Tifnumbu and his gang are pushing. Yeah? So is that it's a very beautiful country on its own. This is just the vice, and it is because Tifnumbu is a drug dealer. And he's not in St. Lucia to add any value to St. Lucia, or St. Lucia add value to Nigeria. Away from it. Tifnumbu is a drug dealer that is now using the presidency of Nigeria to further push all kind of their criminal deals. And they are doing it in the plain sight. And so Tifnumbu and his gang are saying that since the descendants of the slaves from Africa were the ones that were resettled in St. Lucia, so suddenly Tifnumbu loves slavery, Tifnumbu loves a slave story, slavery story, that he wants to go and, relate with St. Lucia. That sounds so kind of like so easy. But for those who know them and those who have seen him around, including a few of the countries he's been to, that has added no single value to Nigeria. This St. Lucia is one of them. So maybe apart from raising the awareness on it or asking questions about it, the people of St. Lucia themselves, right, should possibly, the people, not the government, because this is like at the highest level. We have seen somebody who is an arms dealer that was arrested in Congo DR, for arms smuggling, illegal smuggling of resources. That person is Tifnumbu's friend that supplied tractors worth hundreds of billions of naira. So these criminals are actually like walking about with the seal of Nigeria, because the head of that seal is the former drug baron, drug dealer, heroin trafficker that forfeited $460,000 to avoid jail in America. But he managed to capture the system in Nigeria. He's their president now. Now he's in St. Lucia. So if you're a St. Lucian, a drug dealer that is from Africa is parading himself as the leader of the most populous black nation on earth, right? Where he is by design, right? However, his interest in your country may not really be about trade, culture, tradition, knowing who he is, right? So St. Lucia, they say, conversely, the country is a key Caribbean transit hub for cocaine shipments, bound mainly for the US, Europe, or Canada. Crucial to St. Lucia's role in the cocaine trade is its proximity to Martinique, which has drawn Venezuelan crime groups. The latter usually deliver cocaine via fishing boats and offload the drugs at sea off the west coast of St. Lucia. Other groups may prefer offshore airdrops, but in both cases, local traffickers collect the goods in small boats and stockpile them along the island's coastline. Such shipments have recently decreased in frequency but increased in quantity. Subsequently, cocaine is trafficked in Martinique or loaded onto yachts destined directly for Europe. Cocaine is consumed locally, but its prevalence is not large and is arguably a byproduct of cocaine transiting through the country, as in violence and murder. So you get that now. So it's just a transit up. Transit up simply means that some group of criminals, they have so much influence. They have so much influence on the government of that country that they could carry out their trade, their illicit drug trade in their on their territory without any of the authority challenging them. That's what is called hub. So all they do mostly is that they pay those in government, including the head of that government. So a lot of things that Tinubu and his gang are involving Nigeria in right now that will still come to light anyway, right? So they are being done in the open. Like they are not doing them. They're not doing them in the secrets. They are doing them in the open under the cover of the Presidency of Nigeria, right? I'm just kind of like pointing that out. But Tinubu and his gang made a video. They said it's because Tinubu just probably felt bad about slavery, and he decided to go and visit the descendant of his ancestors. Who knows? He's a Guinean. That is the only identity of his that we can possibly look apart from that of Nigeria. Guinea is also a cocaine hub in Africa, while St. Lucia is also one of the cocaine hubs, drug hubs in this Caribbean island. But here was Koolu in what they call the tour. Yeah, it's called the tour of the Slavery Museum or something.
President Bola Tinubu commenced his historic visit to St. Lucia on Sunday. First, a visit to the government house. Governor General Cyril Iro Charles received the Nigerian leader at Mount Fortune. The Lucians are originally Africans long separated away from the black continent by distance, with some of their citizens having a place in the history of Nigeria. And now, the president of the most populous nation in the world is set to formalize the Nigerian-Lucia relations, rekindling the ancestral bonds and igniting a new era of diplomatic, cultural, and economic possibilities between the nations. The mission also took President Tinubu to the Prime Minister of the Eastern Caribbean nation, Philip Bear, and there a proof of contact between the nations. The discussion also went on with modalities for the imminent formal relations being worked out.
The president was very particular that Nigeria and most of the Caribbean nations, not even St Lucia alone, but all the Caribbean nations, we have similar culture, we have similar ambition, and we have similar problems. We strongly believe that if we can sit down, like we are going to do tomorrow, to see how we can begin to connect with each other, to improve on our relationship, to improve the economies, and see where we can both learn from each other. Because St Lucia and most Caribbean islands are basically islands, so they face the same problem that we face in our coastal areas. So we are going to look at that. We are going to look at the area of health provision in both countries. We are looking at the issue of education.
President Tinubu, popular in Lucia for his long-standing commitment to the entrenchment of democracy, is scheduled to address the special joint session of the Senate and the House of Assembly of St. Lucia this Monday. In Castries, St. Lucia, Musbah, and Wahab, NC News.
Sounds good, yeah? Sorry about that. Tifnubu and his gang, the report practically just told you that because we have so much in common with St. Lucia and all these Caribbean islands, so Tifnubu, the Pablo Escobar of Nigeria, is there to help them. Do you understand? Because we have so much in common. And right now, it was there as the big, the big guy. They say, well, here is a drug dealer that becomes president of a country. And he's here to let you know that, I've got a deal for you. Possibly that because Abi, waiting concern Nigeria and St. Lucia enough that Tifnubu is calling his visit, his holiday there, historic. Well, don't blame me. You can easily suspect them, won't you? Anyway, I'll leave that to the viewers, including someone who said it is an heavy allegation. It's not an allegation, it is an open something. Are you going to pretend that Tifnubu is not a drug dealer anymore? Like you're going to say that and say, oh, I'm going to be very careful. And somebody will say, hey, but there is no court that convicted him as a drug dealer now. So have you ever heard what is called the, what do you call it? I wanted to say trade deal, but it's not trade deal. When they have to give you a deal that all you have to do is just give up some of your guys, forfeit some properties, and then you avoid jail. So you want to pretend that you are hearing that for the first time. So I'm not making anything up. If you are too afraid, if you are too kind of afraid saying that in public, I respect that. But don't make it look like, oh, you are making something up that you are just hearing it for the first time. Evidence, evidence, plea bargain, Jare, thank you. That deal. Evidence, evidence, Yapa, is everywhere. You can choose not to see it. That one served day. Like, you can choose not to see any of this evidence. Certificate forgery, drug forfeiture for drug dealing. Sure, you understand? It depends on, people will tell you that nobody convicted him. So, but don't make it look like I'm making that up. Like, Mayegun. Don't say, hey, I know they there. What do you mean by you know they there? Like, they are going to now say, okay, now me manufacture the court documents, all the released evidence that are now in the public. Now me print them out from my imagination. Thank you, Jari Milady Latu. I don't know. So I'm just saying that because that is exactly what Tifnubu is. That is how the rest of the world see Tifnubu. And that is why when you see some of these shark hyena countries that you call the West, where they touch Nigeria, what do? They exploit the relic. That's what they have been doing. Tifnubu is a compromat. Or should I say is a compromised individual. Here you get evidence day. So when you look at the West, that will further help them to destroy Nigeria as they are doing and all that, right? So you realize that they are only exploiting his compromise. So stop pretending. That's the problem. People will be pretending and say, are you sure? Are you sure? What do you mean, am I sure? It's obviously out there now. So people choose what to see, people choose what not to see. And in this case, right, we have people who have been like, suffering from selective amnesia. And selective amnesia is not a serious ailment per se. It is by choice. When people cherry pick, and they ignore this as, no, I don't want to see that one. But I would rather say this. Or then they deflect. Deflection is also very much another tricky stuff that Nigerians kind of like, mostly like deploy when they don't have any means of defending these rogues. They deflect, So Koolu is a drug dealer. His friends that we have been seeing him with, they are questionable people. If they are not arms dealer, they will be drug dealers too. We have evidence of that. The one from Mali, a drug dealer. We've seen them together in a shopper. In Guinea, the cocaine hub, where drug dealers use as their hub in Africa. So when you connect all these dots, about though they pretend say see them, there are some of us that can't pretend. Yeah, there are some of us that can't pretend that we can't see it or unseen it. Unsee it. Damn. Anyway, Koolu and his gang and what they are being kind of like up to, the little of them that make it to the public, they are enough for you to have an idea of people you are dealing with. Just so you know. But one day we are going to wake up and get to know that he has already possibly in this whole journey stuff, right? He has seeded some part of Nigeria's supposed common resources to these rogues. So last Sha. We'll see. Now, here is another one. For those of you who remember clips like those guys who are fighting with Werey Wike and the rest, right? In fact, hang on, before we get to that one. While Koolu is there doing a historic visit, holiday to St Lucia in the Caribbean, the people of Kucheri community in Zamfara state yesterday had to run for their lives.
Come bro, someone TV. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. 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 Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Wallahi sun dauke shi wallahi.
So that clip is it's a distress video made by a survivor of the attack in that community. That was yesterday. The terrorists didn't even wait for the evening. They had to do it during the day. They came on their bikes. And I think I've got another one of their bike stuff. Let me see if I can get that up.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. bó bá ṣe eré àní máyégún máa wí. ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́.
I'm going to get it up, okay? So that was a community. And you see, somebody called me after uploading that video. This morning. And they said, well, is that real? Like, is that how people have to? I said, well, Baba, that's it. That's how people have to scamper for to safety whenever the terrorists attack. Because most of these communities are not even accessible by road. You can't access them. 63 years of independence. Most of these isolated communities who have suffered mostly from the hands of these terrorists, they'll be left, right, in the hands of the terrorists. They will be left for hours. So once the terrorists, once they are done, that's when they will leave. Those who are vulnerable, weak, old, children, even women who are trying to look for their children, grabbing their children here and there, they will end up becoming their initial victims. Did you not see that video? That is what it is like whenever terrorists attack communities during the day. Imagine what it is like in the night. What is it going to be like in the night? The people used to see them pass. Those who are clamoring for, sorry about that. Those who are clamoring for ranches for terrorists. If they build ranches for the terrorists, now this Okada, they go park inside. They are always on the bike, motorcycles. So they will ride in their 10s, in their 100s, armed with AK-47. Start shooting into the air, then start shooting straight at the people. Once they get to the community they want to invade. So as some people are running away from them, they are running into other group because a set will come in, shoot at the people, and once they don't get any sort of like a fight back, so they just keep pushing on until they kill those who could run and burn down the houses. Those who are running away from them are likely going to be ambushed ahead. So only few. That's why it is called an invasion. When they invade a place, it is like a total annihilation. Do you understand that? Like they kill everything that moves kind of approach. And did you see all those deserts? This is what most part of the northern Nigeria is made of. Do you understand? That is how spacious and how sparseful, wherever they are, right? In a way that you can see a community here that has maybe 500 people living there. The government doesn't even care if they were there or not. So then you see over 300, 500 square miles of desert. No road, no nothing. Everybody's just existing in that place. There may be a government highway that passes kilometers away from that place. So they will be using that as the main road if they want to see what's going on the main road. Communities like that, so thousands of communities like that. So that is why these terrorist attacks continue to be very much successful because, number one, the criminals in charge of Nigeria have no real plan to end them. And that is why the little resources that they probably have are also being deployed just to defend the regime, not to defend Nigeria. So plus the already compromised military, right from the top to the bottom. So it makes it more easier than, for the terrorists to decimate Nigeria, weaken Nigeria military, right, than for them to be on the run. So it is all mad. It's like a mad place. Talking about a mad place. How many of you remember dramas like this one between Werey Wike and the Fool-baara? Fool-baara. Bara is a beggar. Onibara. Somebody said he's Onibara. He's also a fool. Fubara says supporters. Now I don't know who is more foolish between Fubara and Fubara's supporters. So I don't know. I'm just saying. Starting with this one. You remember this?
Somebody should say something.
At least you all remember that. That's just less than a year ago, right? There's so many, so I managed to keep or pick a few, just save them for a day like this. Here is another one.
I don't understand. Inside of my family will suffer. Sin, they will remove sin. My family will suffer. I rather die. Let him succeed. My family will take them along. So while sin, I die for you. He will take care of my family. I know you very well. That is who I will serve. I don't just serve any other person. So my manners are now.
Person will be say when they're born or then did naming ceremony. In Papa possibly gave his friends drinks to celebrate that he gave birth to a boy. A boy grew up, became a political tool that believes that his life is nothing and pretty much very much available for the political class to use in atoning for their political war. People like that, until Fool-baara told all of them today, not today, yesterday. It was yesterday. So Fubara has told his supporters to bury their ambitions. You know, the condition he agreed to with Werey Wike, as people have postulated, is that Fubara won't be contesting in 2027. He won't go for second term. So Werey Wike will choose somebody else that will be loyal, that won't give him trouble. Not just that. All of those who went with Fubara, especially those ones that became local government chairmen, remember them. Now, their political career is now dead. And according to Fubara, if they love him, they would have to forget about their ambitions. Because Werey Wike will decide who becomes what from now on. Not without saying that, okay, you did fight. But at the same time, according to Fubara, all of you should be able to admit to how Werey Wike made all of us, like the work he did, the risk he took. Fool-baara to his supporters.
We have fought. I think in my own assessment and in the assessment of anyone that is there, who genuinely, if you're genuine in this struggle, you will know that we have done what we need to do. At this point, if you want to be truthful to yourself, not lying to yourself. The only solution is peace. I didn't say that there is no price that is too big to pay for peace. I meant it, and I am still ready to follow you to the end. Nobody can take away the role my other played. That's the truth. Yeah, we might have our differences that led to this, but nobody here will say he doesn't know the role the man played. Nobody will say he doesn't. Nobody can waste away the risks he took. Yes, at the point we had our differences, and if today there is need for us to settle, please, anyone who genuinely believe in me should understand that it is right thing to do. Look at the projects that we initiated. Big road have been abandoned. Look at other things that we initiated. Without this crisis, by now I know where we have been. We know the progress we have recorded. We know areas that would have developed these things better than what it is today. So there is need for this peace. That is the truth. Like I said, it's heavy, it's bitter, but we must accept the situation and move on with it. If I can't abandon you, that is one thing I need to say here. And it must not be, everybody must not have position. No. This is a time for me to prove to you that I care for you. When you don't have anything, is this thing answering us? Those are the things we should be looking forward to. And I make my commitment here that whichever way it goes, I'm not going to abandon anybody.
What's that go?
Honorable engineer, fine man without pimple, incumbent traditional prime minister, His Royal Highness Igwe Doctor, His Excellency Ambassador Igwe Wezuoke, Ezo onye mepimu nkisi, African tallest man. Onatara dike mwankembo okuru.
Werey Wike has won the fight, and that was a Fubara telling his supposed foot soldiers to let go. Now peace they need now. And what does that peace mean? Peace simply means Werey Wike won and the Rivers people lost. Or maybe the Rivers people never even won anything at all, because the impression that he was doing this for Rivers people, protecting the Rivers people, has come out to be a ruse, a lie, right? And Werey Wike.
I see the sweet us, he gonna paint them. I see the paint them, oh, I see the sweet us, he gonna paint them. I see the paint them, oh, I see the sweet us, he gonna paint them. I see the paint them, oh, I see the sweet us, he gonna paint them. I see the paint them, oh,
That's all Werey Wike can possibly tell you right now. So the lesson here is that none of them is actually fighting for you. But you may have this delusion that they are fighting for you. But if you are smart enough, you are going to remember that popular saying, don't die in their war. Please don't. You know, I don't think we can stress that enough, right? The people of Delta are now calling on their own government. You know, the guy who joined APC, Egbekebe, just recently. And according to him, it is because the Delta people want the kind of development that APC offers. Now they're asking him to please put this on the list.
Yeah, I don't save the first one.
So there's something I always ask myself out of curiosity. I say, these guys award trillions of naira worth of road construction contracts across Nigeria, all the 36 states every year. Then why can't they just do the road? Like spend the money on it, because you will still make money. Do you get that now? Like road contracts that ordinarily shouldn't be more than 1 billion naira. They will say it is 10 billion naira. Well, that means times 10. That money can construct times 10 of that road. That's the one money got in for just one. But they still won't do that one. It will still be uncompleted, abandoned. You know, like, why? Like, you're also going to use these infrastructures, Abi? Whether you are APC, PDP, it doesn't matter. You are going to use the infrastructure yourself. Why don't you just do it? Still make the money you want to make from it. And at the end of the day, people will be kind of less bothered of how much money you are making from it, because they can see the project. Everywhere is like, man, you will think that they just finished war 26 years after democracy or after military. And those who are probably the pioneer of the ruin and the destruction we have today, they themselves are in total ruins now. Have you seen the drama going on at the PDP secretariat in Abuja today? Police were picking up their staff. They prevented their BOT from entering the building. I'm not covering that this afternoon. I need to get more from it, because I saw people being beaten up. You know, they are not thugs. I mean, they are not being beaten up by the rival thugs. So they were being beaten up by the police. PDP. PDP to finish. A former ruling party. So it has also been reported that there's a chance that PDP won't even have presidential. They may not even have candidates in 2027. The way their madness is going right now. So they believe that Werey Wike, who has won them, I mean, has kind of like captured the Fubara and his own rabid supporters now, right? So it is Abuja that is next, and that is PDP. So now he's not fighting 2 battles anymore. He's fighting 1. And I think it is like from rising from his victory over Fool-baara and the Fubara surrender, that they went straight off for, because the PDP said they were convening a meeting today. They were supposed to have a particular meeting concerning this, their leadership wahala. And it was the same day that the police came and they started arresting their staff in their own building in Abuja. So I'll bring more from that later in the evening, okay? And the people they beat up and those ones that escaped. So it's also quoted that Peter Obi has told his supporters last night that, yes, he will be running for office or running for president in 2027. He also told them that he would agree to the coalition's offer, and that is for him to spend just 4 years and then return the power back to northern Nigeria. All of this will be part of what we shall be covering later this evening, okay? So that is mine. I didn't get any pushback from you. I mean, the viewers who wants to participate in this. So I'm going to take that as Nayegun. Thank you very much, for this. I will see you later this night, and I will see you later this evening. Enjoy the rest of your morning or afternoon. Good afternoon.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary politico. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà gbówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.